Hey everybody, it's Greg again. It's another edition of Unbreakable the podcast. It is Wednesday, Hump Day, May 13th. Quick show today because there's so much going on in Philly sports. I had to pop on, give you my 2 cents. And by the way, today is apple pie day. So get out there and get yourself a hunk of apple pie. Maybe you could put some vanilla ice cream on top, a la mode, as they say. I don't like it on top because I don't like things touching, 2 feet touching. I just have a weird thing about that. So I don't like it dripping. So I gotta put the ice cream separate, then anyway. Um, so Philly sports. Daryl Morey out of here. Good, good, good. Yeah, he was with the Sixers 6 years. What did he do? What did he do? He got all these people like on social media. Oh, we're gonna miss Daryl Morey. He drafted right. Yeah, come. How could you screw up the number 3 pick in the draft last year, VJ Edgecombe? He can't screw it up. So, all right, he picked him. Tyrese Maxey. He picked him, but it was really Upton Brand who scouted and chose Tyrese Maxey because Daryl Morey was doing the job. But Daryl Morey, what did he ever win? He leaves the Sixers really with their hands tied in purgatory. The Sixers are not bad enough to be in the lottery, and they're not good enough to win an NBA championship. They're not close to the championship. Bad contracts. He signed Joel Embiid to that extension. Embiid is making $60 million a year, and he doesn't play all the games. How are you going to get rid of Joel? I mean, who's going to take that contract? Knowing that Joel Embiid is breaking down. I mean, he's great when he's healthy and he can play, but when is he able to play? You know, not able to play back-to-back games. Although after the season ended on Sunday, he was, well, maybe next year I'll be able to play a little bit more. Yeah, right. And pigs fly. No, he played hard. If he played hard when he played. But that's it. You had the Ben Simmons debacle. You had the James Harden circus. You had just Daryl Morey. He never won anything with Houston. He didn't win anything with the Sixers. Sixers got past Boston in the first round. Don't forget, it was 3 games to 3. The last game was in Boston. Jason Tatum did not play that game. Do you think that helped the Sixers a little bit? Huh? We saw the real Sixers, but he got swept and embarrassed by the Knicks. Embarrassed. Blown out at home, where the New York fans took over our arena. Those are the real Sixers. Old, slow. What kind of bench do they have? Disorganized. Now, the weird thing about it is it sounds like Nick Nurse, coach, is going to stay. Weird because usually when you get rid of a general manager, the coach goes with them because new GMs like to bring in their own people, their own coaches, their own assistants, So this coach who's coming in, or the general manager, is he going to be a puppet? I don't know. I mean, it is sort of weird that Josh Harris, the owner, who's supposed to talk tomorrow to the press, says, "Oh, we're keeping Nick Nurse." Really? Okay. Well, what about the general manager? Doesn't he have a say in that? The Sixers are just a disorganized organization. They typical Sixers, I said, and I've been saying this since you've been watching me on the show for many, many years. I've said unless the Sixers cultivate a winning culture, they're not going in. Yes, the Sixers have to draft better, they have to trade better, they have to sign better free agents. They have to do better, but they have a losing mentality. Since they tried to lose on purpose many, many moons ago, when they were in the so-called process, which failed, uh, now they lose not on purpose. They have to get some winners into the system, into the organization. And not a loser like Darryl Moy. I'll give Josh Harris credit. I said yesterday when I was on, Josh Harris had two options. Number one, make some changes. Number two, sell the team. Obviously, he's not going to sell the team. He's making too much of this, too much money. So he got rid of Darryl Morey, which to his credit, he should have did a long time. It'll be interesting to see who they vote. But I'll tell you what, that person who comes on is on a hell of a lot of challenges because they are straddled with bad contracts. Embiid is going to be a year older. Paul George is no spring chicken. Do you build around Edgecombe? What about Maxey? He's probably the guy you can get most in trade, but do you really want to trade Tyrese Maxey? I wouldn't. They need some help. They have to evaluate players better. They need to build the bench. It's going to take a while. Think about it, my friends. The Sixers didn't get better tonight, and they're not going to get gooder. I don't think you're going to be able to fix this all with free agent signings. I think it's going to take a while to get the draft picks back, and to you got to get lucky to know. You got to get lucky with some of these late round picks. When you look at it, the Sixers picked 23rd in the draft next month. You got to hope that you pick a good player or two. I don't know how to do it. I really don't. I don't know who would take a beating trade. Paul George. I'm sure the new general manager will try to unload those guys, but finally turn the page. You know, give the fans some hope. The fans don't give Josh Harris your money, your hard-earned money. Don't do it. As much as you like to go to the games, don't do it. That's probably what happened. Why the Xfinity Center was full of Knicks fans in Game 4, because Sixer fans, I don't blame them. They sold their tickets. I don't blame them. You pay for parking, concessions, merch, ticket prices. Let's do that. I wouldn't give Josh Harris my money. I wouldn't do it until they show that they are on the right path to rebuilding this team. Well, that was one big news. Eagles. It sounds like the Eagles are going to be playing in London this year, week 5, against the Jaguars in London. And that'll be pretty cool. Go back over there. And I would assume week 6 will be a bye week. The bye, if it's true, week 6 is a little early for the bye. But it's okay. It is what it is, right? The full schedule comes out tomorrow. And of course, we'll get drips and drabs today. We'll get drips and drabs during the day. On Thursday, there are rumors about the opening game. I saw one person say it was going to be in Arizona, which is interesting. And another person saying it was going to be in Washington. So we'll see. The one thing we do know of, the Turkey Day is going to be full, because the Eagles were playing on Thanksgiving at 4:30 down in Dallas against the hated Cowboys. And always big ratings. I would assume it's going to be on Fox. So you can have Tom Brady there. And Eagles Cowboys is always a show. Go down there, Eagles, kick some butt on Turkey Day, right? So there's your Thanksgiving, right? I mean, you got your dinner early in the day. The Lions always play the first game. I don't know who we're going to play this year. Lions game, then you got Eagles Cowboys, and then you got a Thanksgiving night game. So there's your token. Then what a way to kick off the holidays this year, huh? Huh? Ah, so that's what we know so far about the Eagles. Let's hope they have back-to-back home games this year. Last year, they were the only team not to have back-to-back home games. It went home game, away game, home game, away game, home game, away, all the way through to the end of the schedule. It's going to be interesting because the Eagles do have some attractive home games this year. The Rams are coming in. My. Seattle, the world champion Seattle Seahawks are coming in. I mean, the interdivision games are going to be good again. The Giants, the Commanders, the Cowboys, all improved. I think it's going to be a good season, really do. So it's an exciting time of the year. Schedule comes out tomorrow. We're starting to get leaks. And it's exciting. You start to plan your schedule. You plan your road trips. Maybe you want to go down to, maybe you want to go across state to Pittsburgh. Maybe you want to go to the Tennessee or something like that, right? Wherever the Eagles are playing. It's just a fun time of year. And then you got the Phillies up in Boston. They beat the Red Sox yesterday. Zach Wheeler, great game. Pitched into the eighth inning. How about that Kyle Schwarber, 17 home runs? He's on the pace to outdo his 56 home runs last year. Who would have thunk it? The boys are starting to hit. Harper goes Stott. Brandon Marsh still needs the lead in hitting. I mean, got another hit last night. These boys are just picking it up. Only what are 2 games under 500? Get to 500 and then go from there, right? As I said, the Braves are hot. They won again, and it's going to be hard to catch them. 9 games out of first place. Hard to catch them. It's a long season yet. Hard to catch the Braves. Hey, I'd be happy. Phillies make the playoffs, get into a wild card. Go from there. How many times have we seen in all these sports where wild card teams they go all the way to the finals? Sometimes they even win the championship. It's no disgrace not to win the division this year. Like I said, Braves have a bad 2 weeks. Phillies have a good 2 weeks. The problem there, though, my friends, is the Phillies don't play the Braves as often now with this new schedule as they used to. But I don't think the Phillies play the Braves now until September. So it's harder to make up ground. That's why it really sucked that the Phillies got behind so bad in April. It's going to be tough to catch the Braves. But Phillies get to 500, go from there. Thursday, big game. Ranger Suarez, my buddy Ranger, pitching against the Phillies up in Fenway Park. Very interesting. Who's going to have the advantage? Ranger knows these hitters. He's left-handed. Is he going to be able to neutralize Harper and Schwarber? Brandon Marsh? Or do these hitters know Ranger? Right? Who's going to have the advantage Thursday? Very interesting. Ranger didn't want to go. I didn't want Ranger to go. Those just wouldn't give me money, He breaks down. I know he gets hurt, but he's a hell of an athlete. He's a really solid pitcher. But you know what? He signed that big contract with the Red Sox. More power to him. I wouldn't do. Ranger Suarez comes back to Citizens Bank Park in the playoffs or next season when the Red Sox come to fill him. I wouldn't go up. Ranger did a good job for the Phillies. He didn't trash the Phillies on the way out the door. like some players do, the casting rooms. But I would, if I was able to stand, I would give Ranger a stand because he deserves it. So it will be interesting to see how he pitches against the Phillies Thursday. You got the golf coming in this weekend. That should be it's very interesting. Beautiful weekend coming up. Highs in the 80s, sunshine. Oh my God, perfect weather for golf. Get out there. It's Scotty Scheffler. Scheffler is going to probably win. He's favorite. Oh, he's not having such a good year. But it's a major. He won the PGA last year. Let's see if he can do it again. But you got the big names in it. You got Rory McIlroy is there. Scheffler was saying yesterday, press conference. I look forward to getting a cheesesteak now that he's in Philly, So it's kind of cool. You watch these guys play all over the South, Hawaii, blah, blah, blah. And they know that they're right in the backyard, the Delaware Valley is kind of. So, what else is going on? Hockey winding down. To me, I think it's going to be Carolina and Colorado, but everything shakes out in the Stanley Cup Finals. And the way Carolina is playing, they haven't lost the game. I would be surprised if they won the Stanley Cup. In basketball, you've got the Oklahoma City Thunder, the reigning world champs, have not lost the game in the playoffs either. They just swept the Lakers. So they're waiting for the Wemby, San Antonio, Timberwolves series to get. That's really tough series, isn't it? Wemby took over last time. I tell you what, Wemby is great. When he's not doing this with the elbow people, Wemby's great, and he's only young. Can you imagine what this guy's going to be like once he's in the league about 5-6 years? He is a generational player. I wish the 76ers had Wemby. But then again, I guess they all wish them had. No? But that's going to be very interesting. I think San Antonio is going to win that series. San Antonio, Oklahoma City, Western Conference Finals. Very interesting because San Antonio beat them quite a few times during the regular season. They know how to play Oklahoma City. It's not a gimme that OKC is going to win that series and go to the finals. Interesting. I think the Knicks are going to beat the survivor of the Pistons and the Cavaliers. But they're battling it out too, like that. Game 5 is tonight. They're tied 2-2. I think the Knicks are just playing too well. I think they go to the finals against either the Thunder or the Spurs. Yeah. And you got to say, whoever comes out in the West, OKC or San Antonio, should beat the Knicks. Although, I said it yesterday, the Knicks are on a roll. And I always love to play a hot team goal into the playoffs, no matter what sport. And you see it again, right? Knicks are on a roll, as much as I hate the Knicks. But they are playing good basketball. They got to hit it today. So that's where we are. But I had to jump on and throw my comments out there about Daryl Morey. Sixers need to look at this in a positive way. It will be interesting to hear Josh Harris talk his press conference because we got to look at this as a positive. This is the first step on the road to turning the page with this team. I guess you're never really going to turn the page unless you cut ties with Joel Embiid, Paul George, and start to really focus on getting this team younger, more athletic, better defensively. Wow, they suck on the defense against New York in the series, huh? Especially in the last 2 games in Philly. How can you let a team score 144 points on them in a playoff game at home? That was embarrassing. Really. I guess it was the final straw for Josh Harris. As clueless as he is, as the Sixers own, he couldn't even tip. So, Nick Nurse, my jury is still out. I'm not totally convinced of Nick Nurse, but hey, he didn't have many cards to play with this year. Uh, and I don't like the way the team played defense in the playoffs, and then like the way they came out with no energy. Seems like they just gave up, you know? And that's on the players, but that's also on the coach. So maybe Nick Nurse is going to get another shot, but he's definitely going to be on the hot seat now because there's no Daryl Morey to keep him. Um, if the Sixers don't show signs of life this upcoming season, Daryl Morey is going to, or Nick Nurse is going to be the next one to go. So, he's kind of stepping to, but to me, Sixers have to turn page, start fresh in there, and stop. Stop with the bad contracts. Stop giving away first round draft picks. Start to do the right thing. Right? I hate to use the Knicks as an example, but there's a great example. Oklahoma City, San Antonio, of course, they all had high draft picks. And sometimes you have to get really bad before you get really good. But I mean, the Knicks drafted all these Villanova kids, signed these kids, and it's paying off. They're winners. They are winners. And that's what the 76ers need to bring into the organization. Winners. Would you love to see Jay Wright take over as general manager? He's got too good now. He's retired. He can do whatever he wants. He can do TV, he can travel, and I'm sure he's got a lot of money. But Sixers just need a winner in the organization to kind of show them the way and start a winning culture with this organization, So, similar with the Flyers, right? If the Sixers want to know how to rebuild a team, just look right there to the Flyers, what they've done, how they've turned it, right? They're not ready yet. The Flyers aren't ready to really compete for the Stanley Cup, but they're getting there. They got their feet wet in the playoffs and got some experience. And they need to add some players for next season, but they are getting it. So, okay, my friends, I'm headed to the doctor. Wish me luck and peace and love to everybody there. Enjoy all the sports going on. And that's crazy, but it's great. It is great. So enjoy yourselves. Love the upcoming mild weather. 80s, 90s next week, for God's sakes. Peace and love. God bless you. Oh, by the way, before I go, did you hear this news about the Beatles? You know me, I love the Beatles. Couple of things. Oh, book came out yesterday, a new biography on Ringo. And now they're opening up the Apple headquarters in London. It's going to open up next year. 2020. 8 floors, Beatles. You could roam through the offices of Apple where the Beatles recorded, where the Beatles had their business offices. There's going to be a store there. You could actually go up to the rooftop, 3 Seville Road, the rooftop where the Beatles had their very last performance, that very famous, iconic rooftop mini concert before the cops came and shut them there. You could actually stand on that roof and look out at the view of London, just like the Beatles did. How cool is that, huh? There's a lot of Beatles stuff coming out. Of course, we got the bio pictures coming up in a couple of years, and just new album from Paul McCartney, coming out, Ringo has an album out, coming out, just a lot of stuff. So if you're a Beatles fan, you are in your glory. And in the next couple of years, you're going to even be more in your glory because there's going to be so much happening. And think about it, this band that broke up 56 years ago, 56 years ago, are still so relevant today, still making news. That's all. Peace and love. Take care. Bye.